When you do an episode about the habits of billionaires, you have got to start off with the OG Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett is famous for being one of the most successful investors in the entire world. He's the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He is also world-renowned for his philanthropic efforts. He is worth $145 billion. Aren't you curious to know what his daily habits are? Well, the first one may surprise you, and I want you to hear it straight from him. Warren Buffett did an interview with Professor Jeff Cunningham as part of this iconic lecture series at Arizona State University in 2015, where he describes one of his most important daily habits. Take a listen.
What's your media routine?
I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks, I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies, for example.
And you process information very quickly.
Well, I have some filters in my mind.
I just love that. He reads for hours every single day. No wonder he's so smart. No wonder he knows so much about so many things. And there's 2 other things I want to point out. First of all, this habit, it's free. There is nothing stopping you from dedicating time every day to reading and learning. It's free to do. Go to a library, log online, and you can read for free. And the other thing I want to point out is at the very end, did you notice he says that this daily habit of reading every single day has created a filter in his mind? And one of the things about Warren Buffett is that he is known and respected for making extremely decisive and fast decisions. And I was really curious about that. And so the next part of what you're about to hear him talking about is that his decision making, and the reason why he's able to be like, yep, I'm in, I'm out. It's not happening fast. It's actually happening because of the slow buildup of information that has now been filtering into his brain from the years and years of his daily reading habit. And this is how he explains it.
Somebody calls me about an investment in a business or an investment in securities. I usually know in 2 or 3 minutes whether I have an interest, and I don't waste any time with the ones in which I don't have an interest. I always worry a little bit about even appearing rude, because I can tell very, very, very quickly whether it's going to be something that's will lead to something.
Isn't that so cool? And just stop and think. If you're worth $145 billion, everybody and their mother is pitching you their business idea. So he is hearing business ideas of the most wide-ranging industries and inventions and problems that people are trying to solve. And this guy knows within 2 or 3 minutes whether or not this specific investment opportunity is unique and meaningful. How does he do that? He does it because of this first habit of billionaires: daily reading. He has leaned into learning through reading every single day, and that has allowed him to filter through information quickly and tap into a lifetime of investing in this knowledge in his brain. And, you know, when I really reflect on this, I'm not a billionaire, obviously. But one of the things that people have said to me over and over and over again, especially since launching this podcast, is that I have this innate ability to synthesize very complicated information. You know, like you and I might be talking to a neuroscientist or a medical researcher or somebody that has this really dense and intellectual thing that they're trying to explain to you and me here on this podcast. And I just seem to have this ability to listen and then go zzz, and distill it down to the simplest thing that you can take away from this complicated stuff that they are teaching us on this podcast. And as I listen to Warren Buffett, I'm realizing for the last 14 years, I have been heads down reading every single day and researching the topic of psychology and happiness and human behavior. It all began because I was trying to help myself out of a very dark hole that I was in 14 years ago. And it's just spiraled into this habit of learning and reading every day. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this is available to you. If you make it a habit to feed your brain information every single day in any category or any field that you want to learn more about, you're going to build a knowledge bank. You're going to create filters in your mind, just like Warren Buffett has done, just like I've done over these last 14 years, that helps you synthesize information, draw connections, and like Warren Buffett, make faster decisions. And by the way, one more thing you can learn from Warren Buffett as a habit is make it a habit to do things that you're scared to do, that you know are going to improve you. They're going to help you achieve your goals. And one of those things for Warren Buffett was public speaking. He talked about this in that same Arizona State interview. I want you to hear it straight from him.
I was terrified of speaking in public when I was in high school. I avoided any class that would require it, and in college. And then I finally signed up for a Dale Carnegie course. When I got out of school, I realized I had to talk to people, and I spent $100. I got this little diploma. I proposed to my wife during the term of the course, so I really got my money's worth there. But in terms of public speaking, I really had to force myself on that.
He's such an eloquent speaker, and he's just so comfortable and relaxed as he's speaking. You just kind of feel like you're talking to an uncle or, somebody that you're related to. He's so relatable, and he's worth $145 billion. That's pretty amazing. So you would never think this guy was terrified of public speaking when he was younger? That doesn't make sense. But actually it does, and here's why. Learning how to speak in public is one of the most important life skills that you can force yourself to get better at. And I use the word force yourself because the number one fear for most people is speaking in public. You want to know the number two fear? Dying. So for most people, the idea of getting up on a stage or holding a microphone or speaking in front of other people is terrifying. However, you can learn how to do this because it's a skill, and you do want to get better at public speaking. And so borrow this habit from Warren Buffett. Force yourself to do it. Because the more that you force yourself to speak in public, the more that you force yourself to just speak up with your friends, with your family, with your roommates, speaking at work, the more comfortable you will become. And if you're really terrified, you need to do what Warren Buffett did. Sign up for a class, because the class is going to make you do it. The class is going to make you stand in front of other people and actually learn the skill of speaking. Now, I don't know if it's going to lead to you proposing to somebody. It sure could, and it'll definitely make that proposal better. But the second that you realize that these skills, the skills of gaining knowledge, the skills of becoming a good public speaker so that you can advocate for yourself, you can express yourself, you can walk into a room, whether it's at work or home or giving a toast at somebody's wedding, and feel comfortable doing it, that is a life skill that will make your life better. Alrighty, thank you, Warren Buffett. Let's move on to the second billionaire, the one and only T-Swizz, man. Let's go. I love Taylor Swift. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I'm so excited. I took our daughters to see the Eras tour. It was worth every single penny that we paid to go see it. I love her. She is one of the most successful and famous musicians of all time. And the thing about Taylor Swift is she's not just a songwriter, she's a prolific songwriter and so highly regarded for this. And I'll just give you an example. The latest album she released, The Tortured Poets Department, came with 16 songs and 3 bonus tracks. But she wasn't done there. Boom, she dropped a surprise anthology containing songs 17 through 31. So plus the bonus tracks, we're talking 34 songs all of a sudden, within 2 years, done, dropped, out. Wow. And check this out. All 31 songs debuted on the Billboard 100, and she took over the top 14 spots. This was the first time this had happened in Billboard history. And I want to share with you a habit that Taylor Swift has. This is all about how she writes her song. And to set this up, you're going to hear a clip from an interview that she did in 2015 with singer-songwriter Ryan Adams about her songwriting process. And Ryan asked her this question, Taylor, how do you keep all this information in one place? And this is what she said. And for you on YouTube, I can't play the clip. This is pretty fascinating. Taylor Swift, anything with her voice is on lock. And so I don't want to throw up the video because this video would then get shut down. And so I'm just going to read verbatim what she said in response to Ryan's question. Taylor says, when I'm pre-writing, which is what I'm always doing, like right now, I'm not actively making an album. If I get an idea that I feel is a cool observation and a cool lyric, I just write it down. I type it into this endless notepad on my phone. Here's what I want you to take away from that. Anything that you want to be better at, make it a daily practice. So if you notice, Warren Buffett said he was reading daily because he was interested in building more knowledge and constantly learning. Taylor Swift, even when she is not actively writing an album, she has a daily habit of capturing ideas in one place. And she's using this notepad on her phone. This is genius. And the reason why this is genius is because I'm sure you've had the experience probably every day where you have this great idea and you tell yourself, I got to write that down. I got to remember that. And a minute later, you don't remember it at all. She has made it a habit to every single day. I got an idea, boom, I take it out of my head and I make it real and I ground it in the real world by typing it into my phone. I freaking love this. Simple life hacks and daily habits that you can copy from billionaires. Don't you want to know what those are? Warren Buffett, Taylor Swift, LeBron James, Sarah Blakely, Shigeru Miyamoto, Jamie Kern-Lima. Now you and I have 6 super simple, achievable daily habits that the billionaires themselves have told you work for them, and I guarantee you they're going to work for you.